All right, so we are here at Little Kalamazoo Speedway. We are ready to race this morning at our first Midwest Thunder Series. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we are working on for this season. So today I was actually reminded of when a child learns, right? When a baby first learns, somehow I was reminded of this week, and I'm not even entirely sure how. But when a child learns, when they learn how to wave, they actually start to do this more than they do this, right? We all see little kids do this before they start actually doing this. So when they're waving bye-bye, they're going like this, not like this, right? And so it's sort of funny because it's at that moment that we don't realize just how much our kids are going to mimic all of our behaviors until we start to actually see something crazy happen when they start to mimic our worst behaviors. And then we realize, oh gosh, I have to actually do things a little bit differently. And somewhere along the line, I don't know if it's in school or if it's just, I don't think it's a parenting thing, because I really truly believe that God wired all of us to learn by mimicking. Right? That's how we learn how to walk. That's how we learn how to talk. That's how we learn as children how to do pretty much everything. That is until we sit in the classroom at a desk and be told what to learn. But most of our life's experiences, we learn by watching. We learn by mimicking. And that's exactly how God designed it. And so it reminded me to go to Deuteronomy chapter 6, starting in verse 4. Moses is writing, he says, "Listen, Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. These words I'm giving you today are to be in your heart. Repeat them to your children. Talk about them when you sit in your house and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them be a symbol on your forehead. Write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates." When I was growing up, my parents hid everything from me. I didn't know anything that was going on. Life was always magical. Everything was always great. If it was a no, then I had no idea why there was a no. I have this weird memory growing up of my dad sticking a tube down the gas tank of one of our cars and trying to siphon the gas out of one car to put it into another car. And the reason that it's a funny memory for me is that he literally sucked on the hose and drank gasoline for a hot second to get it siphoned to get it into the next car. But as a child, I had no idea why we were doing that. My dad was like, "This is just what we're doing." And I thought, okay, fine, this is what we're doing. Well, come to find out, they had no money. And they were trying to get the gas from one car into the other because the other car was broken. And it didn't work, and it needed to be repaired, and they couldn't afford to get it repaired, and they needed to drive the other car. So that's what my dad decided to do. But what's interesting is that we also want our kids to know, to love, and to trust in Jesus. And trust what he has for our lives, and trust that he is in complete control of things, and that he is absolutely trustworthy, and that when things don't go the right way, we want our kids to know that God has it. We might believe that God has it, but sometimes we protect our kids from seeing that God in fact has it. And so what I was sort of reminded of this week is that it is 100% okay for our kids to see the struggle. Because when they see the struggle, they can see God come through in the struggle. So, oddly enough, perfect example. So, our silly Suburban out there has given us problems from day one. Twice now, both trips to Vegas, twice, the starter blew in New Mexico. I'm never going to New Mexico again. I'm just not. But so, we get back just from our club race last weekend. Car was fine, everything was great. Aaron's coming down the street, pulls into our parking spot, and says there's a problem with the car. And I look underneath the car, and there is a huge pool of something. And I look down the street, and there's a huge trail of something else. And it's our transmission fluid. Blew the whole line, dumped all the transmission fluid out of the car. And so naturally I'm thinking, okay, transmission, we all know, means dollar signs. We're like, oh no, this is not good. And so I'm staring at the car, Eli's standing there with me, and I'm thinking to myself, can't freak out. You just can't freak out. Because he's immediately going, are we racing this weekend? We have to come. So I'm going, who can I borrow from? What am I going to rent? Like, I'm going through all the scenarios. I'm on the phone with the transmission place. You know, the dollar signs got bigger than I thought. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. Come to find out, after talking to our wonderful Yoders here, it's like, check a line next to the radiator. Lo and behold, line just got disconnected, popped that thing back in, threw transmission fluid in it, and she's fine. But it was in that moment, really quick, like we could have freaked out, we could have changed it, we could have gone, oh, the world's ending, oh, we're not gonna race, and just gone crazy. And I could have told them everything is fine, but instead we actually stopped, we prayed for a minute, mostly for me, less than for him, so I could calm myself down, so I didn't say or do something stupid. But what I realized was that just the sheer importance, if we want our kids to know, to love, to follow Jesus, to chase after him, to trust him fully in what we're doing, in life in general, when the problems come, we don't need to necessarily protect our kids from it. We need to be the example of how we rely on God to come through when we don't have the strength to do it, when we don't even understand how that works or what that actually means. Even if we don't have the answer, we just pray and we then our kids get the chance to see God come through. And you want to build a faith. I spent 12 years in Christian schools teaching, and I saw kids of all ages and stages and whatnot stay with Jesus and walk away from Jesus. And that's the single biggest thing that I saw, is kids who had moments where they understood exactly what God was doing in their lives, and the kids that are still following today, and the kids that are like, didn't really understand, their parents protected them too much and all that. A lot of those kids have walked away because they never got a chance to see God work. And so my encouragement today would be, as we even go about, like even just racing, right? When wrecks happen, when things happen, when things don't go our way, because chances are something's not going to go our way. Then we go, you know what? God's got this. It's okay. We're going to make it through. We're going to do it. And we're going to figure it out. And we're going to see what God has for us in store today. So my encouragement to you would be to let God work in the lives of you as you reflect it to your kids, so your kids grow up the faith that you would want them to have and that God desires for them. That's it.